Hey, Jim here from the Moose Basin office in Kapuskasing, and I'm just making this video to address a couple of questions we had regarding hard water season here. And I think those questions can both be answered in one video, so I'm going to give it a shot here for you. The questions are, what is involved in an ice fishing guided tour, and why do we not have like wooden or tin ice huts? Why do we only have the pop-ups and that for rentals and that? And both are very good questions, and it's the whole ice hut thing is something we really did consider doing, but we ended up deciding against it, and hopefully we'll provide some clarity on that in this video. And so, as I said, we do not rent actual ice huts or sleeper huts or anything like that. We don't do that for this reason. Is we found that when ice huts get rented, it's a matter of putting the ice hut on one body of water and essentially leaving it in roughly the same spot for the entire season, and just kind of hoping that the fish are going to be biting in that one area wherever you set your shack up on the lake. And we don't like it. It's comfortable. A lot of the shacks are comfy. They have everything that you need pre-built in them, but we find you can't chase the fish as much. And we want to be more about getting on to the fish as opposed to being extra comfortable while you're on the lake. We offer lodgings and accommodations, our Allen Lake cabin and our bed and breakfast in Kapuskasing. That's where we want you to have a good night's sleep and get the comfort out of it. Whereas when you're actually out fishing, when you rent some of our gear or want to get out fishing, it's more about catching fish and enjoying the scenery that is all around you, like enjoying the wonders of nature around you while catching fish on productive areas. And we also, another reason we didn't go with the ice huts is, again, it comes back to a lot more difficult to move around than just with the pop-ups. But we also noticed that the popular ice fishing spots in this area get very clustered with ice huts. And through talking with biologists and locals and everyone concerned in the area, we feel that having a concentration of ice huts where people are just constantly going to the same place is definitely a contributing factor to some of the downgrade of good fishing in some of the lakes in the area. We have one lake in particular that we believe the ice fishermen just killed it over the past few years, and now no one goes there. And if we are setting a relatively permanent hut up on one of these lakes, we believe that we are contributing to the problem, and we don't want to do that. We also want to offer more variety of an experience for you, because if we stick a more permanent structured hut on a lake, if you want to, we're probably not putting it on a trout lake, because walleye is the ultimate target species up here. So if we put a hut up and you want to go out for some trout, that hut is not going to be on the lake. Whereas when we deal with the portable things, you can hit a trout lake, you can hit a lake that's good for walleye, you can go to an area that's good for panfish, you can actually get up and get mobile with it. And when you look at our area here, I'll zoom out in the background here. Like there are, at different times of the season, the hot bite is, we have a wide variety of small lakes to choose from. Why would we want to pressure one lake to the point of making it bad fishing when we can hop around, provide different species to everyone and good quality fishing no matter where we go, while also having less of an impact on the fishery as a whole because we are being more responsible about it and getting out to different lakes and that. And there are other lakes we go to on our ice fishing tours, and I'll get more into that. The reason we call them guided ice fishing tours is because we don't have the hut. And if we had a hut, it would be, we wouldn't really have to do a tour. It would just be zoom you out to wherever we have the shack. Here's your shack, here's everything, have a good day. Whereas, as an example, we head up to this lake here. It's not called Pendleton, it's actually called, that's Eleanor and that's Nishan here, but we head up there because the ice fishing is good and it's more accessible in the winter time than it is any other time of the year, and it's also not as pressured as the other lakes and it still has a good fish stock. So it's one of the lakes that's beautiful. It's an amazing trip to get in there via the trail, and when we get there, the fishing is going to be good. But because it's trail access only in the winter, and it's a good idea to, especially if it's your first time going out there and you don't know where you're going to want a guide to go there, help you get set up on the lake. And we're also bringing, on the guided fishing tours, we're also bringing our sonar units and that, so we can just help you actually get set up on the right part of the lake where all the fish are. Whereas if it's just a bigger, less mobile shack, yeah, we can take the sonar, we can find the fish, but it's much more of a pain to be moving an ice shack around the entire lake to stay on the fish than it is to just take 10 minutes, bundle up the pop-up and head over to the other end of the lake where the sonar is picking up the bites and that. It's just much easier to stay on top of the fish. And also on the guided tours, not only do we bring the sonar units and help you set up the pop-ups and make it easier for that too, but we're also bringing other lines out. We're there to give you tips on what seems to be working out there. And with our guide putting some lines in the water, it lets you figure out exactly what is biting a lot quicker. And we are also taking cooking supplies out. We are also going to be providing you with lunch. We are giving you essentially what you would expect out of a guided open water tour. We're just doing it on the hard water, like getting you to the fishing spot, riding through scenery on trails, providing a shore lunch, providing all that. That is what we do, because some of the people that are asking the questions got the idea that our guided fishing tour was literally just dropping you off at a hut in a back lake somewhere and leaving you there. And that is absolutely not what it is. Our guided ice fishing tours give you the exact same high quality service you would expect from an open water tour, only we're more bundled up and we're with the ice fishing gear, but it's the same quality of service. You get the same everything as you would with an open water tour with us. And backtracking again to the ice hut thing, if you want to stay overnight at a lake, we do have options where you can do some ice camping. We have 2 thermal hubs for rent, and we also have extra cots lying around that we have. If an overnight stay at a lake is something you would want to, we can convert our thermal shelters into an ice camping setup where one unit gets used for everyone to sleep in and another one gets used, hooked up right side by side to each other, pretty much connected. It can be used as a fishing shelter. So that option is available to you. We admit it's not as comfortable as it would be just going to a pre-made bunkie, but it does give you the option of being able to spend a night out in peaceful, remote back lakes and still have a sense of comfort and security. Again, we feel the more comfortable stay is at some of our cabins and running out and doing day trips and that for the hard water. But that is an option that can still get you comfortable out there doing what you love. And while you're showing off that lake, we'll also use this to remind you that our camp at Allen Lake here, not that one, this property here, when you rent it in the winter, the L151, the snowmobile trail, pops out somewhere in this area. I forget exactly where, but that gives you snowmobile access to it. And you can also run the trails all up here. But in terms of ice fishing, you're on Allen Lake, and this property, when you rent it in the winter, it comes with an ice fishing hub shelter, an older Otter one. Great condition, still works perfectly, very comfortable, but that comes with the cabin rental, so you can stay comfortable at night in the cabin with the fridge and all the amenities that you need to be absolutely thoroughly comfortable on there, and explore the area and all the fishing opportunities with the shelter and the sled that is provided for you during the winter months there. And in terms of day trips and that, it's not just the guided fishing trips we do. Like, we use the shelters and that for our guided fishing trips, but they also double as rental units. So if you're staying at our bed and breakfast in Kapuskasing, I'll just zoom in on the location here to show you exactly where we are. Right here across from the tennis courts, you can see Moose Basin Vacations there. That's us. We've got the garage getting completed now, so we have plenty of storage for your sleds and all that if you want to bring your sleds up here to do your own ice fishing adventures. And obviously scouting with us first to make sure that the trails are good to get there. We're not going to send you anywhere that's unsafe or anywhere that we don't think the equipment that you bring is going to last. We're going to give you all the information you need to have a safe and enjoyable trip, because let's face it, I'm sure we've all been in situations where something has got a little unsafe, and granted, those make for good stories, but at the end of the day, every experience is more enjoyable when everybody is safe and secure the entire time, and that's what we hope to bring on to you when it comes time to visit us and venture out on your own for an unguided experience. So we're hoping that sums things up a little bit, and we're hoping it gives you a good idea as to why we went the less permanent route. And to give you more examples of here, like one of the lakes we like to go to is way up there, and other lakes we go to are way down here. It's just not feasible for us to be setting up all these huts in a variety of different places only to have to find an incredibly large piece of land to store them all when hard water season goes away and when spring comes. It's so we believe it's easier for us, and in a way that also doesn't limit the experience that you're going to be able to get from your stay here. In fact, because of the added mobility that the portable pop-up shelters give us, especially on the guided tours, we believe that it actually improves your experience by being able to use our expertise and the portability of the pop-ups to be able to explore more areas, get on more species of fish. As the trout lake reference indicated, you can get on more species of fish this way. And when you are on a lake that is holding fish, the more portable pop-up ice shelters give you the ability to stay on the fish and track them and make sure that your lines are always dropping down the hole on top of fish instead of getting there and just waiting for the fish to come to your hole. It allows you to take a more active role in the approach you have for fishing, and which 9 out of 10 times that produces better results. And we're hoping that gets that gets transferred onto you and your stay when you stay here. We're hoping that you'll be able to go out, feel comfortable being led out on the water on the trails, that you will be comfortable with a properly set up ice shelter once you get on the water. And then at the end of the day, we're hoping that you can come back with some enjoyable fish stories to the home base, or some enjoyable stories to share with the group if you're at the cabin, and just be able to have a comfortable night's sleep and then get back at it in the morning wherever you want to go, fishing whatever species you want. The goal is a safe, comfortable, productive day followed by a comfortable, relaxing night. And we feel our current approach to it gives you, our client and avid fishing lover, the best opportunity to get the experience to get the fishing and nature experience that you want when you come up to northeastern Ontario. Because we believe that this area is very beautiful, and it's too beautiful to just stay inside an ice hut all day when there's all that nature around you. And like we see all too many times, ice huts will get rented, and like, yeah, tech is good for the family, but you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to promote ourselves as conducting fishing tours and then have a family get out there to an ice hut and have half the family just watching TV because it's comfortable and there's a TV there. We want the memories to come from the fish that you catch, and the laughter and the good feelings of accomplishment that getting that catch can provide you. We want it to be about fishing and enjoying nature, not about anything else. And we believe that with the setup we have for the hard water season, that we can produce that. If that's the effect that you want out of your trip, then we believe we can produce that effect as good, if not better, than any other company, agency, whatever you want to call it, in the outdoors industry. And we know we have an amazing time getting out there with the gear, doing our own fishing on our own time. And because of that, we know that you will have an amazing time out there joining us, and or not joining us on our adventures. We know that you will have a good time when you allow us to be part of your adventure. And we know that you will have some memorable times when you reach out to us and allow us to be part of the process that provides you those memories, because we're in it for you, and we're in it for your enjoyment. And we're hoping that this answers some of the questions we've been getting about it, and we're hoping that we've answered it in such a way that will pique your interest and get you wanting to come up to explore the variety of fishing opportunities we have up in the Kapuskasing area this winter. Again, it's trophy pike, trophy walleye, and many opportunities to go for trout, whether it's splate, rainbow, lake trout. We have lakes that we can get you onto all those species up here. And with the winter bite coming on, we also the burbot and whitefish, we have them in our lakes around here, and we can get on to all of that. And the perch here, the perch fishing is very good. We only eat them in the winter time, because in the summertime they tend to get a bit wormy up here. But the perch fishing on some of the lakes we go to is second to none here. And the good, clean northern water, the cold water in the winter, great tasting fish, great for a fish fry up here. So with all the species, all the accessibility, and the ability we give you to be comfortable while you're doing it, we're hoping that it piques your interest and that you want to come up and explore northeastern Ontario and Kapuskasing area for your 2026 hard water adventure. And keep in mind, we have ice early, we have ice late, so don't be afraid to extend your season or get an early start, or just come mid-season and experience some of the best ice fishing that Ontario has to offer right here in the heart of Moose Basin Vacations territory, Kapuskasing, Ontario. It's pretty hard to beat. So we hope to see you, and until then, tight lines, folks.